Well, back at it again. Gonna take out that little one right there. This one right here in front of me split. So it's all firewood, which makes me sad. It was a nice looking tree. But they do that from time to time. I mean, it just split from end to end. You'll see it when it gets up and out. It's a firewood tree. Had to change though. Would have loved to have gotten that log. That one right there, like a 20-inch tree. I think it's in good shape. I think it worked out good. Now I'm going to try to pull all that big tree there. That's a lot of tree. I'm not sure I can in one shot. I may have to cut off one leg to do it, but we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to leave the camera down here. So there's going to be a lot of extra footage. Unfortunately for me, that log sat right on the stump. So I think I'll be able to pull right over the top of it. I'm kind of hoping I can. Let's put it that way. And that'll make my life a little bit easier if I can. Right? That's a lot of tree. I don't know if I can get all of it. Tractor's up there on the hill. We're down here about 200 feet. Just doing what we do. Give you an idea. It's a really nice tree. Okay, I'm going to use the choker. I've got two of these. One's a choker like this one, the other one's a straight hook on it. Alright, let's see what we got. I don't know if you noticed, but I put the chain where I wrapped underneath and the tail is going underneath the log so that hopefully I get a little bit of lift out of it. So let's see if this goes. Yeah, no problem. That's going to dig in. Yeah, maybe we better follow it up and see what it does. That's a nice log right there. Alright, let's go up and see what's going on. This one here is probably 28 to 30 inches across at the base, and by far the largest tree I'm going to try to pull. And I'm just going to give it a little tug, and if it doesn't go easy, I'm going to start cutting parts off it. Now, one of the games I play here is the camera makes everything look like it's flat, but there's actually a fairly steep bank off to my right, and the ridge is a fairly pronounced, well-defined ridge. So if I was to pull that straight up, by the time I got to the tractor, the base of the tree would be about 4 or 5 feet in the air, and I wouldn't have any weight in the tractor to pull it. Instead of doing that, I'll bring it across the hill, so it's like a 30-degree angle to the ridge, and gives my tractor a better chance because I'll have some weight on the winch, you know. I'm not sure what all that was. Something broke down there. It was moving. Coming. I don't know if they saw the tree it knocked over. It knocked over a couple of trees. Yeah, we got it up here. See if we can get it to the landing. But to see how that stump is up off the ground. If I can't get it to where there's weight on the tractor very quickly, I won't be able to move it. It's just too big. So what we'll end up having to do is go down there a little ways and give it another tug. I might just do that now. I'm going to give it a try, but oftentimes in that situation right there, I've got to go down a ways and inchworm it. So I'm going to set the camera up here. Yeah, I think I got it now. Oh, man, what carnage it left down there. It left a whole bunch of trees down. That's a lot of tree right there. It left a whole bunch of stuff down in here. Clean up. I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go down in there and grab a whole bunch of the smaller trees and come up with a load. Use the winch to help me grab a bunch of multiples you know, a bunch of smaller ones. I mean, I could do that from here too, I suppose. There's about 4 or 5 of them down there. So, well, let me see if I can get it going. This is like postcard picture weather out there right now, you know. Got some really nice trees down there I'm going to pick out. And I don't know if I'm going to take this ash right here or not just yet, or wait for a little bit. And there's another one down there. It's right by the fence line. Problem with these is I got to take the fence down in order to get to them. But there's one right there which leans that way. And then there's a cherry that leans that way as well. So I figure I'll take the cherry first and then the ash second down where the saw is. Now that cherry is a lot bigger than it looks. The saw sitting down by the ash tree there, it's got a 24-inch bar, so that gives you sort of an idea that that tree is about 22 inches at the base. But that cherry down there is more like 30. It's big. It's a little oblong. So I think I'm going to take out a different saw for that one. This is my world, right? This chainsaw has been sitting in the bucket here for a little bit. That's my 565. And I'm going to show you one of the reasons why I like this saw. Is it can bounce around the bucket like this. And I know that when I fire that saw up, it will in fact fire up and it won't take a lot of effort. Even though it hasn't been sitting in a nice warm truck, or at least in a dry truck. And now my hot rod saws with the open exhaust, some of them with open air boxes for the filter, they really can't deal with this quite as well, so they get put on the shelf. And a saw like that is the one I'm going to pick every time, because I know I don't have to hassle with it. And that's so much more important than a second or two in a 20-inch log, you know what I'm saying? It cuts fast enough to get the trees down safely, and more importantly, it'll start every time, make enough power to pull the 28-inch bar. That 565 is an awesome saw. And I sometimes get into it myself, where we overanalyze about whether it's got the right throttle response, and it's got power, and all this stuff that we do in the hobby side of things. But on a day like this, I couldn't care less. I just want to get the tree down. And yeah, if it runs a little faster, great. But what's more important to me is making sure that it in fact starts, restarts, doesn't stall, and those kind of things. Let me adjust my workbench, and then I'll set my camera up. And I can get these at Tractor Supply. They work okay. I've been on that kick recently of just buying things that I can get locally instead of using my sources. Bar oil, cheap, but it works. It works pretty good. And boy, I need to get some more gas. "28-inch bar. It's got a little time on the chain, and I'm hoping it does what I need today. You know, I went to these bags, by the way. I've got a bunch of them. You know, the reason's really kind of subtle. I had used ammo boxes for the longest time, but they slide around the bucket pretty easily, where if I throw my saws in the back and set those bags, they actually keep it from sliding around quite so much. Let's see if this thing will start. It's been sitting in the truck now for a week. I've been using one of the other saws. Oh, you'll see it in video. broke it down a little bit because I don't want to pull all that at once anymore. I'm getting tired of doing that. But I got to cut a little wedge into the stump so to go over the top of it. Alright. Wasn't the prettiest one I've ever done, but got the job done. Whew. Try to wedge it that way so I don't have to go all the way down the hill. But also I don't want to make as much of a mess. It's stubborn because it wants to come right back at us. There we go. One of the nicest saw logs yet, right there. Alright, I'm going to start carrying stuff up the hill, and then I'm going to come back down the hill with the cable. Alright, let's see if I can show the snatch block and how I rig the I put the hook over the top towards the tractor and the tail underneath pointing towards the tractor. Alright, let's see what it does. Alright, let's go follow the log up, climb this hill. Oh boy. We'll go and do the snatch block right there and then pull it right to the tractor. See, I wanted to get it past that log so it doesn't go over the top of it. It goes alongside of it, if I'm lucky.